We got Golden Guardians Academy versus Team Liquid Academy here. So, Golden Guardians on the blue side, Team Liquid on the red. Again, Golden Guardians, if I'm looking at what they were strong at, it was the bot lane. I was actually very happy with Frismal and Chime's performance in that game number 1. I feel like if they're trying to find success here, I want to see them draft around these two and maybe try and play through the bot lane, which is something that teams have been willing to do.
I think so too. I think that this is the area that Golden Guardians has some power. Prismo was pretty good for 2 years, I think, in 100 Thieves already. He was very consistent, had a good champion pool, would have some pop-off games. I think had some MVPs towards a playoff run where they actually won the Academy League. I think he might have actually been the MVP of the finals with someday in that roster. But with this draft already, we see a huge focus onto the top lane. Tally prioritizing the matchup against Jenkins with the 2 carries being removed. And already we're thinking, well, the Oceania players seem to really demand resources, but also hard carry with them. So the OPL players that are coming in are actually all proving to be very talented.
Yeah, that again raises the question that was asked yesterday. Who's going to be the most impressive performer, Oceanic players, the veteran players, or the new amateur players? And we'll see what Tally's able to pick here in the top lane to make a argument for himself, because the Pantheon ban on red side, that's interesting to me. Usually you see that on the blue side, Rise ban to give respect to GG before, but Crumbs, I want to talk about anything other than this that is on my screen right now, so I'm just gonna stop and let you talk about whatever you feel like, man. Yeah, it's
so you. All right, Seraphine, right away, we gotta say she can be a mid, she can be a support, and she can be an AD from what we've seen. So, and all obviously are played AP, but those are the roles where she can go for. So Golden Guardian should be looking to take advantage of the flex here. My gut instinct tells me this is either the cheese copying exactly what Cloud9 did with the bot lane or putting it into the mid lane. So we'll see. Still too early, but it's a very strong team fighter.
In general, you want it in a position where it can get gold income, because you actually do want it to have levels, you want it to have some income. So that's why in the bot lane or in the mid lane is usually better than support. But we actually do see over on Team Liquid Academy side, they do lock in that Hecarim yet again for Armeo, and also the Kaisa for Jan in the bottom lane. So Kaisa is somebody that can at least follow up on the Hecarim going in.
Exactly. It's really good that you can have somebody that can follow up. And normally I think the combo would have been way back last year. Ashe would have been a kind of champion to help the Hecarim engage and assist with the long-range initiation. And here instead, it's just going to be another diver, almost like the Gnar combo that we saw at the end of the last game. Going back to the Golden Guardians draft, though, we see very bold stuff out of them, blinding Aatrox into the top lane. Now,
we've seen a lot of Aatrox bans. We've seen a lot of bans, specifically second rotation bans, because oftentimes he doesn't get picked up right away, even if he is on the table. So Golden Guardians bucking that trend, saying, no, we do think that this is a priority pick. Camille's off the table. Renekton's off the table. If Team Liquid don't lock in a top laner right now, okay, which they do, and this is the Jenkins special. For anyone who doesn't know, Jenkins is notorious for being a Kennen player, and this is going to be an interesting matchup for Tally to deal with.
For how many years is he just playing Kennen in the top lane? He's just playing Kennen all day. It's his favorite champion. It's his main. I mean, he might have been a one-trick at that point. I love this Janna ban out of Team Liquid, but I wouldn't be surprised if Golden Guardians had the intention of putting Seraphine bottom, that there were the other champions that would work. And Janna also is really good at disrupting the Kennen, so you actually are getting some double duty out of that ban from Team Liquid. But back to the Jenkins point, last year he'd get Kennen almost permabanned against him, so it is surprising that Golden Guardians did not think about Kennen as something that was ban-worthy, since throughout most of Jenkins's opponents they deemed his Kennen to be the ban-worthy champion, and they kind of let most other things fly.
No more focus on the bot side here for Team Liquid Academy. I thought that maybe we'd see something like a Taric ban as well as another annoying support to pair with that Seraphine if you're going to put her in the carry role, but instead the Syndra. So they're not confident that that is the Seraphine mid, or at least they don't want to deal with the Syndra, even though they could potentially blind pick it themselves. Yeah, interesting approach to the pick and ban phase here. A lot of mid lane focus just at the end of the day from these final two bans from Golden Guardians as well. Zoe, TF taken off the table. Things like Orianna still available if Team Liquid just want to have kind of more follow-up for the Hecarim, so Hecarim can jump in there, use that shockwave, and kind of have just really protect the pony composition kind of thing, or at least dive with the pony, and that looks like what we're getting.
Exactly. Help the pony do what he's trying to do. And Orianna is a fantastic mid laner for him because the shields and speed. So you actually are giving him everything that he wants. And now there's still support to go for that can be saved for even more shields if they really want to. I love that they're saving the last pick for the support just to be sure that they know what's up with Seraphine, who has already been deemed to the bottom lane as Akali gets locked in.
And now there's options here for Golden Guardians Academy, because speaking with other casters in the Academy scene, really the best AD carry to pair with the Seraphine right now, according to Coco, who you'll probably hear on a future cast, is Misfortune. But if you're not going to pair, or if you're not going to put her in the support role, then there's a lot that can open up to support her. I don't know if Galio is actually the one I expected to see, though. So I guess it's just leave Seraphine alone in lane and Galio goes elsewhere.
I don't see many of the synergies that Golden Guardians are looking for because they're all so long range, like short range, pardon. So you think of how Golden Guardians would like to play the game, though. Akali is never the one to go in first, right? Aatrox is never the one to go in first. Okay. Graves is never the champion to go in first. All right. Now you got two left. Galio, not the guy to go in first. A lot of the time, Galio is not the guy. So it's got to be Seraphine.
That's the one.
Yeah, so it's Seraphine and Galio that have to be the ones in charge of the engage, which is not really where you want to be. Whereas you see Team Liquid, every single member can start the fight and follow up on command. Much easier to fight that way.
I guess the plan for Golden Guardians Academy is play reactive and just allow Team Liquid to engage into you, so you can use that Galio ult, you can use the Seraphine extra range, W, shields, heals, but yeah, I'm loving this draft from Team Liquid Academy. It's playing to their strengths, and we'll see how it plays out on the Rift here as we are loading on, yet again, Golden Guardians Academy with an interesting take on the current meta and an interesting draft indeed here, but it's all about execution, it's all about can the players show up on the champions, and how comfortable are they on these champions, too? Because who knows? Maybe Seraphine, if they can get to the late game, will just carry them regardless.
Or Akali, or Graves. We have seen these champions do it. It's just so weird to see how they're going to pull it off. They're so outranged. Like, when Golden Guardians gets in, by the time they have gotten in effective range of using their spells against Team Liquid, they're already CC'd and probably half HP'd. Oh man, Kangas, this to me looks like a big Team Liquid draft win, and I'm trying to think, okay, well, what are the areas that Golden Guardians can play through in the early game to maybe not have it be that way? And a lot of it falls on Rosethorn to try to maybe invade our Mao. Our Mao would be the one champion that you could potentially fight for, but then again, none of your lanes have priority either. What are you supposed to do?
And you're also, unfortunately, one of the newest junglers in Academy, having just got drafted through Scouting Grounds, up against Armeo, who has played on the LCS stage under other names, had the name change this year, but has LCS main stage experience. And, you know, again, when we see what happens when these veteran junglers go up against a young blood, sometimes the young blood, they have the flashy plays, they have the mechanics, but they don't always have that, you know, hardcore decision-making that can win out. So we'll have to track the jungle for sure, but also on the bot side, this is what we expect to see, or at least I expect to see all game. There's not much a Seraphine Galio can do to stop a Rel from just constantly harassing them, constantly looking for engages, and just winning out trades.
And winning out these trades in the bottom lane, ooh, okay, gets the taunt, but not a lot of follow-up. Winning these trades matters a lot because they continue to pressure the lane. You take a look at the wave states across the board. Kennen is shoved in, Orianna is shoved in, and Graves gets to path to the bottom side. So right now you see the position that the Golden Guardians' bot lane has the wave in. If they crash the wave right now, they actually wouldn't be able to collapse and help Rosethorn later because the wave would reset by the minute, like 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So ideally, they can stack this wave, slowly build it, and by the time that Rosethorn is at the river, they can crash the wave, and then the Rel and Kaisa won't be able to collapse into the river, and the Graves can guarantee the crab or guarantee the position for a good crab fight.
That's, of course, if Isla does not find the right engage, because still, even level 2, level 3, the Rel-Kaisa combo is very strong against the likes of Chime and Prismal. Chime's just got that Aftershock, but outside of that, not the tankiest stats. Rel, just with the kit in her center, in her build, naturally tankier, but we do see Chime actually roaming towards the mid lane here. Rosethorn as well. Harry could be in some trouble. The flash taunt doesn't proc instantly from Chime, so Harry does get out with his own flash.
Rel and Kaisa are also in the river, though. They are spotted by a ward, so look at that. It not just the jungler coming to your lane to shove it out, but also the support. What a move. What a move by Chime.
And Armeo gets that Scuttle Crab. Is probably going to path straight up to the top Scuttle, so Golden Guardians really falling behind here during this play. They tried to make something happen. I mean, they get the flash out of Harry. That's the biggest win right there, because now maybe Rosethorn can look for a re-gank, but there's just no hard CC. There's no way to actually lock Harry down other than just the slow from the smoke screen of Lowthorn, and maybe Yunbi can stick on top of Orianna.
If you even list smoke screen slow as a way to set up a gank, man, I don't know.
It's not looking good.
Yeah, you're in some trouble.
Yeah. So, flash down on Harry, probably not the end of the world. Meanwhile, flash down on Chime actually is kind of a big deal, because again, if Rel can find the right engage, Chime is going to get blown up here, and they got to respect it. Oh no, Chime, he's going to walk forward. I think he might just die. Look at Isla, there's the stun. Can they get the follow-up? Yep.
He's dead.
Yep. He can't go anywhere. He gets exhausted on Yan. Maybe he can just run away, but the last auto will be enough. First blood onto Yan.
You saw this happening a mile away. You burn the summoner in another lane, and you go back to your own that has been packed with aggression. Since level 1, this is what's going to happen. And a huge punish, gold going over to the Kaisa. And now the main engage, the main way to get a fight going for Golden Guardians is falling behind. The Galio that is weak is one that's going to be very easy to pop. So they thought they based, and then they went for a cheeky little move there with the rush.
They actually
the
pathed
ward.
up. That was awesome. They pathed up, so Golden Guardians thought maybe they were in the river, but no, they were waiting in lane. As we see live, there is a skirmish happening around where the Rift Herald will be spawning. It doesn't look like any kills will happen, but yeah, well played by Yan and Isla here.
I mean, he couldn't hug the top side because that's where he saw them recalling. You shouldn't hug the bottom side. I think just have to stick to the middle lane. Just have to be right there, very close. Try to spread the in between both top and bottom of the lane to make sure that you have as much time as possible to react if you get jumped from any angle.
Now Ayla here in the mid lane, backing up Harry. Not gonna find anything for that. Both jungle or supports rather just paying their mid laners some love, saying, "Hey, yep, we got your back. We're watching you." And I actually no water walking here on Ayla, so I'm curious. I've been seeing on the Rel, one of the most popular buys that you go for is straight into Swifty Boots, and then you just rush Dead Man's Plate. You can just get around the map. You actually skip out on that mythic item, and I'm really curious if Ayla's actually going to go for that kind of build. I see it in solo queue a lot, but I'm not sure if that will translate to pro play just because of the communication aspect of it and tracking supports a little bit better. But you can get around the map really fast on this horse if you go for that kind of build, but I'll keep my eye out for it.
If she gets fed, and also just to point out a small little fun fact, we got the horse composition out of the horse team. Rel and Hecarim with Team Liquid.
There's no Lilia, though. I feel like we really need Lilia to bring it all together. Just the four hooves comp is what we call it. But actually, Ayla in some trouble here. Does get locked down. Tries to flash away, but so slow with the walking. But hey, I guess they're getting out of there. Armeo ults in, gets flash out of Prismal. And Golden Guardians Academy have to back off. They don't find the kill.
So I think Armeo would have committed way harder for that had his rampaging charge been off cooldown. He had just used it for the Scuttle Crab, so he wasn't actually able to join that fight with his E. That would have been a huge, huge play there had he actually been able to combo those spells, because you would have gotten the flash with the E, then ultimate, and then you actually get the kill onto the Seraphine. Now we're going to have just a big 4-on-4 for this dragon. See if any top laners can TP in. There's no Hecarim ultimate, and Rel doesn't have flash.
Golden Guardians looking for the engage onto Ayla. Yan over the wall, playing very confidently with low mana, is in some trouble, but there's the shockwave onto two members. Rosethorn and Chime in a lot of trouble. They will go down. Yunbi fails the execute onto Armeo. That's a 3 for 0. That's no members dying on Team Liquid Academy. Even Prisma will fall down, make it a 4 for 0, and the Dragon Team Liquid walk out with their heads held high.
Whew. Giant play there. I mean, this is the kind of play that teams would remake in a scrim and try again because of how drastic the consequences are going to be after this play. My star for that play was the Kaisa Yeon, like you said, on the side, taking a Kali damage and just saying, yeah, bring it. My team is here. I know what I can do with my pick. And just bought enough time to get everybody in Golden Guardians interested in her
smokescreen
and
too.
collapsed.
Like, Jan was on the wall with Flash under smokescreen and said, no, I trust my team. I don't need to panic Flash over this wall. That is some impressive communication right there. But yeah, let's take another look at this, because Golden Guardians are the one that wanted to start the fight.
And they miss so many things. And then the Orianna gets to collapse, but they've been tanking the Dragon this whole time. So now, when everybody else is here, Golden Guardians has to retreat. They've used every single crowd control move that they had, Seraphine's and Galio's, and then Nakali joins, and she's like, hey, why can't I kill anybody? Hey, that's because everybody has used a CC already. You're just going into people by themselves. And remembering Champ Select Kanga's now saying, Akali is not the champion to engage a fight. Well, we've seen it a few times where some cracked Akalis are able to pull off crazy moves, but that's not something that you bank on, and you certainly don't bank on it here when the Akali is about 20 CS down.
20 CS down in the mid lane, pretty much everywhere around the map, and now Yunbi even in more trouble. Shockwave flash used by Yunbi to get out of that one. So will stay alive for now. Armeo's 2 levels up over Rosethorn, Crumbs. Am I looking at that right? Is that correct? At under 10 minutes in the game?
Absolutely, you are spot on, and that's because both these junglers have the exact same goal, and one has all the tools to get there. The laners can help the Graves, or sorry, the Hecarim power farm and not worry about anything else, whereas the Graves has all his lanes constantly shoved in. You have such a bad matchup in the solo lanes. They're both melees against ranged, so they're already going to be at a disadvantage. It's just so much harder for the Graves to play this game, while the Hecarim can do no wrong.
Graves even wasting more time going for a failed gank on the bot side. Yana and Ayla just playing it too safe, which means Armeo gets a free Rift Herald on the top half of the map. I guess Rosethorn gets a slight invade here if he wants to look for it, but even could be in trouble if Ayla and Jan find him in this 2v1 situation. They don't actually commit over the wall, but regardless, the Rift Herald is picked up here by Armeo. Team Liquid in such a dominating position here as we're just cresting over around the 11-minute mark. There's still plates up for another couple minutes here, so that will be more gold theoretically into the pockets of Team Liquid, and their control of this early game has been nothing short of impressive, and it's not the same kind of play that I saw last time. Armeo is still leading the charge a lot of the times, but Ayla's roaming mid, Harry's roaming down bot side. It feels like everybody is contributing to the game at this time around.
They feel like everybody can do something. Everybody actually has the tools to participate in. And that's the kind of draft I really enjoy, where every player has a way to start a fight on their own. It's something that we've heard many times around the world that some of the best teams really prioritize. How do you make it so that your AD, even though he doesn't have an engaged champion, can through just positioning and his champion engage a fight, start a fight for you? How do you do that? Well, if you have him have a tool that allows him to participate in a fight by himself, then that's how you do it. So Kaisa is that, Kennen is that. They all feel like they have agency by themselves, and so when you have 5 players like that, everybody's eager to make a play, to show off what they can do with their champion. When you got picks like Graves that can't set up anything by themselves and need everyone else, you're just stuck waiting like, can I do it now? Have you set me up? No? All right. And then you just wait until it happens.
It really is. They have to play defensively. But here we go. Flash aggressive onto Prismal, trying to take him down. Meanwhile, Armeo just buying time. Rosethorn and Chime can't do anything to back up their Seraphine bot lane. Chime uses the heroic entrance to try and buy some space, but not going to be enough. And Team Liquid will walk away with yet another kill.
Great look there, and the Rel flash engage is really deadly there because it caught Prismal right when he thought he was going to be able to escape, and Hecarim was already on that part of the map. And you wonder, how did Hecarim get in there? Well, through mid. Mid's been relentlessly shoved all game long. This mid lane disadvantage is such a problem for Golden Guardians because no one can move safely without Team Liquid knowing, and they can do anything in the Golden Guardians jungle, and Golden Guardians has to face check, clear every brush until they figure out what the heck Team Liquid was up to in there.
And I had to say it's going to get worse in the mid lane here as that does go down. Harry picks it up with the help of that Rift Herald. 30 CS up over his lane opponent, rather 25 CS up over his lane opponent. But now with that first turret gold, the long lane to play around, you can shove, you can roam top, you can roam bot, anywhere you want as Harry. And the whole map just belongs to Team Liquid right now. Golden Guardians have been completely choked out at every single turn. And not necessarily for lack of trying. They are attempting plays. They're looking for things, but you've highlighted enough, you know, because of the champions they have. They don't have that go button. They don't have the ability to just force something to happen. They have to find the flanks. They have to find Team Liquid out of position or just bait Team Liquid to engage in onto them before they can actually make anything happen. And so far, we haven't seen that from Golden Guardians. We've only seen Team Liquid dominating. So I like this look from Team Liquid Academy. And so far, it looks like they might be another one of the teams that goes undefeated in the first week.
I think part of what Team Liquid has benefited from is that our Mao actually got so many games in with the LCS team on Team Liquid. I feel like that's actually just I just truly hope was a moment that really taught him a lot, because this is a player that's been around for so long, constantly trying to make it in, consistently good in Academy, struggling in LCS when he comes up, but looked a lot better this time around on Team Liquid. And now that he's back in Academy, seems to be a little bit more dominating than usual. And the drafts around him seem to have improved. And this is a player that I think can start to shape himself into a leader within Team Liquid. And that's another Akali death.
Okay.
I think this was over, Kangas. I don't know what to tell you, man. It is a stomp.
If anyone needs to go get a snack, you know, take a little quick break, this might be the game to do it, folks, because this one is looking like we're still in perfect game territory, Crumbs.
True.
Team Liquid Academy could play this one out perfectly and give us a perfect game in week number 1. That would be insane. But yeah, let's look at how Jan did. I think he's just got. Oh, he just runs in. Oh, he
got tagged.
Snipe.
He got the reveals, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Well played, regardless, by Jan. I mean, it helps when you're 4-0-2 with your Gale Force completed, but now 5-0-2 with Gale Force and Serrated Dirk and your upgraded boots with the pickaxe. Yeah, Jan's kind of scary. I was going to say at one point, Prismal had completed the Mythic and no one else had. I was like, hey, yeah, that cheat Mythic will really help you out in these team fights, but
oh no,
not really anymore. Maybe Jenkins is in trouble up top side. No, he's not. He just takes down Tally in a 1v1. Rosethorn trying to get it. Is this going to be the perfect game? I don't think it is, Crumbs. Jenkins will go down. Rosethorn says, give me that gold.
So close.
I'm gonna use this kill. I'm gonna win the game now. This is it. This is the comeback.
They had to flash exhaust him to catch him down. The Electro Rat was able to get away and still came at a big price there.
Fast rat.
And look at this. Yeon is zoning the Akali, who's going to get one shot by Kai'Sa.
If that had tagged, that was a dead Yunbi right there.
This is not how Akali is supposed to play. The roles have been reversed. Yeon is having the day of his life here, knowing that he's avenging every single AD that's ever been deleted by Akali.
This is justice for Season 10, AD carry mains out there. I hope you feel validated now. Now that you get Samira and Kai'Sa and Aphelios, congratulations, you did it. But here, let's take another look at the top lane as Tally versus Jenkins. Almost gets out.
Baiting a bit too hard, but he got the kill.
It's just hilarious to me how little damage Rosethorn actually did. That was like 5 autos with 2 Qs and his ultimate, and he's still just enough to take down Jenkins from half health. This little rat running around the map, this Yordle is powerful right now. Was, I guess, higher up in CS at that point, but loses a little bit from the death. But regardless, now that we're out of laning phase, Crumb, so we no longer have the isolated cannon. Now you get to see where Jenkins really shines, not only as a player, but as a cannon player. He is so good at finding flanks, so good at finding the right engages around these big objectives. And we got a dragon spawning here in the next minute, so I'm expecting to see some action there next.
Oh, you will see it and you will not be disappointed, because this is actually where Team Liquid's composition comes alive. It wasn't even alive this whole time. It gets stronger than the laning phase for them, so they'll be able to have a giant amount of wombo combo onto Golden Guardians. So if Golden Guardians can spread out and start to pick apart individual members of Team Liquid, then that's their best bet. Absolutely no way they're 5v5ing. They should definitely concede this if they're not in the position to do so, as Tally is in the top lane. It does have TP with Orianna, but there is no one in a position that they can pick off. Jenkins is the
Usually
only
I'd say
one.
Orianna's got to be scared. Orianna's got to play careful, but no. Harry's got 2 completed hits. Harry can just walk up and slap Tally around. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? I got phase rush. I'm just gonna dodge all of your abilities and just poke you down. But no, that's not the focus. Instead, it is this dragon. Harry, by the way, does also have teleport, so can join in after shoving the stop wave. Team Liquid. This might be our first true 5v5 that we've seen this game from. Jenkins is on the flank, but he will be spotted by that ward. He's looking for a TP. Does come through from Harry. Members of the Golden Guardians are grouped up. They got a flank on the Tally, but there we go. There's this ultimate engage coming in from Jenkins, and it's just a sweep. It's not even close. Golden Guardians gave it a best effort. They really did. But Team Liquid just run them down.
That was sick. I was hoping. I was like, wait, are they really going to let Golden Guardians get into position? No, they're not. They instantly engaged with the flashes and just deleted them. I am really warming up to Rel as an engaged champion, Kangas. This pick is starting to capture my heart because players feel so confident in being able to engage, and it's something that always lacked in League of Legends, people finding the confidence to engage. They only really had it on picks like Malphite.
Teleport bot side. Jenkins could be in some trouble here. Sorry to break you off there, Crumbs, but oh no, we're going to replay. Never mind. Well, we'll see if Jenkins lives. Oh, I think he does. He's fast enough. Look at this.
It's beautiful. I mean, that's picture perfect. You don't get everybody in the same combination of spells, but if the Shockwave catches 2, the Hecarim ult catches 2, Cannon gets a 1, you've got everybody, and they got wiped.
Oh, they actually did get Jenkins. Jenkins did go down. Okay. They had to use Flash from Tally, but I'd say that's worth it, you know? Shutting down this Cannon as much as you can, trying to put him behind, because he's going to hurt in these late-game team fights. So that's, you know, some area of hope maybe for Golden Guardians. Rose Thorn also trying to go for the invade rather against Armeo. He does have backup here from Tally, but I think he might just die before Tally can even help. Tally was like, I got you, bring it to the bush. And meanwhile, Rose Thorn's like, dude, come on, help me out. Armeo, can he get out? I don't think so. But he's just going to waste some time. He's going to buy some.
Run!
Come in from Yunbi. Run, Armeo! Run, Pony! He's gonna. Okay, who gets it? Don't take it, Chime. Okay, if Chime had taken that, that's a report.
Yeah, right. It was close. His heroic entrance almost took it.
Oh, all right. We do get a replay of what happened to Jenkins here on the bot side. Yeah, Frizzle. I saw the TP come through, but I wonder how they actually catch him because he's a fast champ.
Wait, what? Oh, Graves is coming too.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, they just hard dive him under turret. Yep. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah. They were going to get that kill for sure.
And so that also explains why Rose Thorn was then invading the jungle right there, because he thought he had backup. You know, Prismal and Tally were just on the bot side, but Tally was a little too far away, and that is a Hecarim who can run down a Graves very easily if he's ahead. So, yeah, unfortunate from Rose Thorn. I do like this build from Rose Thorn, though. Very defensive, very tanky. Something that they were lacking was a hardcore front line. They got Aatrox who can heal up through it, kind of Galio, but this just gives them the extra little bit of front line. But yeah, I think we're a little too late too late for it to be that relevant, as Baron is started here by Team Liquid Academy, and I don't think the Golden Guardians can even spot this out, let alone do anything about it.
This Kai'Sa is so strong, it's gonna get melted, and everybody's in a position to collapse. The Scryers goes down, Alteration Site, so the fight's about to begin, but can Golden Guardians really get in and not get deleted?
They want it. They're looking for it. Ayla has to use the W safely, uses the ult. Now the stun. There's Armeo going back in. Chime doesn't land onto anybody. Jenkins has arrived, people. What a slicing maelstrom. Tally will answer it back for another, but Team Liquid get the full ace. They didn't need to group as 5. They just needed the Baron and then time to reposition, and they get it all.
I tell you, Kangas, for a split second there, I thought, wait a minute, is this the Aatrox pentakill that keeps popping up in all the highlights? Like, no, it wasn't. Not sufficiently fed. The rest of Team Liquid is just way too far ahead here. It looked kind of close, though, because they did take a lot of damage from that Baron. The Hecarim was very low when they engaged, but the carries of mid and bottom are just too far ahead. This Kai'Sa and Orianna have a 1400 bounty combined. There's so much on them. Like, look at the CS differences too, right? They're really far up on their counterparts. On top of the plates that they've taken, you can really see why there's
you
a
didn't need to
13K
show us
goal.
that, observers, producers. Again, please. Yeah, okay, good. We don't need to see that. That's too disheartening for Golden Guardians fans who are still holding out for hope. But there's a replay of that Baron fight. Jenkins showing up is really what turned it for Team Liquid there.
No one can deal with the Ken. The Ken is more like a fact that happens in these team fights. You're just like, hey, someone's gonna die. Someone's gonna get hit by this. We gotta deal with it.
Oh, now Team Liquid once again finding a member chime. Cut out of position just slightly. Only one charm. Jenkins yet again! It's just too easy. Anytime Team Liquid want to fight, it's their fight to win. They get a clean ace, 0 for 5. They have the Baron, and you have to imagine this is game. I don't even know why they're shoving top wave. Are they? Is Team Liquid flexing on us right now?
They are. They are hard flexing here. I mean, can they end? They should try. They should try.
Yeah. I think you just go for it. Harry with the flex TP top lane. Didn't even need to use it on the mid lane wave. Didn't even need to back up Armeo with extra shields to tank the turrets. Team Liquid in one of the it has to be one of the fastest games so far this split. Just dominate Golden Guardians. And they'll win their second game, go 2-0, week number 1.
Oh, man. That might have been one of the largest gold leads we've had all year long in NA Congress. That was 17K ahead that Team Liquid finished over Golden Guardians, right? That's over 3K per member over Golden Guardians. Like,
what's Flowers' metric? It's like if it's 500 per minute. So what's 17 divided by 24 minutes? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that math. I know it's a lot. I know that was a huge gold lead for Team Liquid Academy, and I was a little critical of them against Dignitas Academy. I was like, they got the win, but I don't know if they really deserved it. It felt more like a Dignitas throw. No, day 2, they showed up and they said, we are a team that can smash. And a lot of that was just the draft. It looked so much better this time around. Being able to back up the Hecarim, we saw what that paid out for them.
So, with that being said, though, with such an emphasis of this game being on the draft, I think Golden Guardians still have yet to show us what they're capable of. I still think these players have much more in the tank. We just need to see them find the compositions that make a lot of sense for them. And what we saw from CLG last split was where a team that really struggled. They were dead last in spring, but then they figured out, hey, we need to just shore up our draft. We need to pick champions that we are good at, that we can hard engage on. And even though they picked a ton of things that were off meta, this team did not make a player improvement and went from 10th to 4th just from changing draft and having a different coach. So I think that Golden Guardians just having more experiments with drafts, getting that down, should give us a much better result.
All right. Well, congratulations, Team Liquid Academy, ending your week number 1 undefeated, going 2-0 against Golden Guardians and also Dignitas Academy. We're going to send it over to a short break before we get ready for our last game of the day. It's going by so fast, Crumbs. I'm going to miss you. But anyway, we'll be back after this break, so don't go anywhere.